What is up, guys? So today we've got a bit of a different video. I'm actually reacting to a little bit of what I'm told is like K-pop reaction drama. I don't know if it's like real drama or not. I think it's just someone making a point about kind of toxic fans, which if you love K-pop, you honestly, let's be real, know a lot about, whether you like it or not. And I'm talking about Alonzi, I believe is how you say his channel name, which I actually, hold on, it's on a black screen right now, but
so we need to talk
him, which I actually really like his reactions, and I think he's actually pretty mindful, well balanced, which so I don't know what he's talking about in this video. The title is I think I'm done with these K-pop fans, and so I had a viewer message me this video because I think it just came out yesterday or something, and was interested if I'd check it out and see what my thoughts are on it. And I am on this channel, since I have this channel and I have Yesterday's Youth Reacts now, and I'm gonna make a channel with Momo, which always is on my channel. I'm kind of like also trying to add commentary, reviews, and stuff here. So yeah, I figured I would talk about this. I also see that he's a guitar player, which same, hell yeah. I don't know what this is really good, if this is going to be spicy take. I did put the playback speed a little up just so maybe we can get through, because it is a longer video, just to see, maybe we can touch on some of these points. That's
something that I know that a lot of creators are just too scared to kind of talk about, whether that's because they're scared of getting backlash or like their income being hurt, which is something that I've never really been afraid to talk about, because, you know, I'm kind of new to K-pop in general, I would still say, but my life and my whole personality doesn't revolve around it. So I don't feel like this kind of like worry that speaking my mind is going to be a problem for me. Now, if you've ever frequented this channel before, you'll have noticed that I just don't really upload anymore. And it's not because of my love for K-pop or anything like that. I think it's mainly down to the fact that my patience and energy to just sit through this nonsense has just run out. I've seen so much stuff lately, like for example, San from 80s having to apologize live on stream because he didn't say happy birthday to Jungkook online. One of his best friends, someone he's been in a group with for 7 years. And you know that he doesn't.
All right, I'm gonna just stop little by little. Obviously now I already understand why the person who sent me this video, because I have also dealt with a lot of people that have, even before I got into doing YouTube with reaction, just people that had been parasocial about a lot of different things, and this is just the peak level of parasocial. It's like once you're pushing yourself into somebody's private life, it's called a private life for a reason, man. It's like, you don't get to dictate who they date. You don't get to dictate who they're friends with. You don't get to dictate what they believe in, and just like, let it rest. Like, that's just it. Some people, I genuinely don't understand when people are this parasocial about stuff, because it should just be simple. It should just be 1 + 1 = 2, but it's 1 plus I'm a fan of your music, so I get to tell you exactly what to do with your life, and I get to decide if you have a career or not. Nah.
Feel that why is he being forced to apologize like some spokesperson? Do you really think Jungkook woke up and was like, oh, it's my birthday today, I haven't had a message or a post from Sun, that's it, he clearly doesn't care about me? But the fans will have you believe otherwise. People recently arguing about the fact that Jungkook has lost weight since he's come back from the military. What's it got to do with you? Jimmy the other day being cancelled for eating McDonald's on stream late at night. People saying, oh, 9 million people, he wanted to show this to 9 million people. No, 9 million people chose to tune into his stream. They stepped
okay, first off, this is gonna be, I can already tell there's gonna be a bunch of stopping points, so I apologize. I'll try to just talk in as fast as I can on some of these so we can kind of like speed through this. And what, like, if idol culture, I understand there's a long history of idol culture being toxic when it comes to physicality and stuff like that of idols, and that's kind of a deep issue, not only with fans but also with just kind of the companies. I think there's a lot of pressure for idols to stay a certain way and keep that way, stay skinny and kind of, you know, pretty, on to like what a lot of people would say. I think it's so unfortunate. I have always advocated for, if somebody wants to get a little heftier, if they want to get husky, if they want to get bulky, or you want to stay shredded or skinny, whatever it is, lanky, I'm like, I personally, if we ever see like a plus size idol group, you know, I'm going to be the first one to check them out, because I think that'd be so cool to just see people that are just accepting of whatever body shape they want to have, you know? And again, this if does fall into the category of private life. Why do you care?
With these fandoms, they, especially on like X/Twitter or whatever, these Instagram, you have to be a part of a herd. You have to pick a team. We're a side. I thought we were canceling this person. Are we not doing that anymore? What, you can't even make up your own minds anymore? Like, who are the fans to impose rules, impose ways that idols should conduct themselves? Grown adults, to the point where they feel that they're owed apologies or it needs to be made up to them. But it's ironic because I see so many fandoms online with this kind of victim mentality about how their group has been targeted, how they are being picked on. Yet those same people will go and attack other groups the way that they're crying that it's happening to them.
I think on the note, I've touched on this before in other videos, but there is a lot of like, you know, like but them, but this group, but that group, but this group, but that group, but this company, that company. And a lot of times like it feels like just like grasping at straws for things if your group isn't either number one on the charts all time, or like picking someone to pick out for that, when honestly sometimes that's just maybe there's not enough marketing budget, maybe it just isn't the right release right now, maybe people just are tuned out. You know, it's like sometimes you make a video and it pops off and you don't even know why, and then sometimes you make videos and they bomb. And there's sometimes just not a lot of rhyme or reason to some of that stuff. But the part that I touch on more is that there's like the loudest voices online are always like the negative, deranged voices. Like we've seen it with fan wars between, you know, ARMY, between Carrots, which I always note them because BTS and 17, so many members of them are like really close knit, good friends that grew up training together, being trainees together. So why are you fighting? What are you fighting about? Who cares? Both your groups you claim to really respect and love each other, respect each other, and you just want to create drama where there is none. It's silly.
That delusion is what makes creators not want to talk about things or not want to make content on this stuff. They're scared of backlash. They're scared of their Patreons or their money being hit because they don't want to be seen as picking a side. A real good example of this. Now, you guys will notice that I didn't do a reaction to that song Spaghetti that came out the other day, right? I saw the teaser for it and it sounded crazy hype, like it was going to be like fully energetic. And then it came out and it sounded like it sucked. Like straight up. Like it was just trash. It sounded like goo goo gaga kind of like music. And I can guarantee you that if J-Hope was not in that song, BTS fans wouldn't even listen to it. And they would say the same. But apparently, all the comments, song of the year, which is funny because every song is apparently song of the year. Now, that's not me targeting BTS fans. That's just an example, right? In fact, J-Hope's part of it was the only good.
Okay, so I won't even touch on the Le Sserafim song because I haven't heard it. I don't know. I like Le Sserafim. I've only heard 2 songs though, so I don't really know a ton about them. Obviously, I love J-Hope. If you watch my second channel, I'm obsessed with BTS. And I will say that, like, yeah, people, I remember when I started doing kind of reaction and commentary review stuff on YouTube, that people would always be like, oh, well, how do people always like everything? And I'm like, well, my approach is I publish the things that I enjoy or things I can critique. And I don't publish the things I don't like. Like, I don't feel the need to push a ton of constant negativity, especially when I understand that it's like a whole, like, it's an artist working on work. And as somebody that's created art, somebody that's created a lot of different types of music and videos, like, to me, it doesn't feel useful of my platform to just go out and crap on stuff, even though I know that the click-through rate of those videos would do better than any video of me being nice about anything, sadly, because that's people, again, the hate and the craziness is always the loudest. Unfortunately, I just don't want to use my platform for that. So if there's ever if there's some songs that I just don't cover, it is possible I don't like those. It is also possible I haven't gotten around to them yet because I like a lot of groups and a lot of artists, and I cannot cover everything in a single day or year even. So that just because I haven't uploaded something doesn't mean I hate it, but it doesn't, that just because also if I don't uploading sometimes, it just might not be for me. And that's sometimes just where it ends.
You won't see reactors posting videos trashing it or saying anything bad about it because of fear of ARMY or fear of Les Seraphim fans, because they'll say everyone else agreed with it, it's just you're troublesome. No, the people that either didn't say it, they faked it, they pretended, or they just didn't make a video. And I don't serve that here. What I've noticed since starting doing reactions is there is a tendency of not being able to see an audience that has the capability to be non-biased or objective. Good example. People will look at all the videos from the recent Blackpink tour, right? They'll say, Jennie's lip syncing, she looks awful, blah, 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 blah. But then they won't acknowledge that their own favorite artist will lip sync at times. Oh no, our mics are always on. This is just not the case. Yeah, there are groups that are more live than others, but all groups will sync at points. It's just not up for debate. Now, people will also take that sentence and be like, oh, so he's defending Blackpink, so he's a Blackpink.
Okay, so here also, on that note, here's the deal. I don't understand why people care if an artist lip syncs sometime. Personally, so if you don't know, in my history, I did do touring music work where I would get hired to play with bands, go on tour with them, play guitar and sing, stuff like that. And when you play on a bigger stage or when you play with a lot of technology, you always have a backing track of the vocals. Pretty much. So if you run out of breath or if you just need a moment or there's moments that everybody can't hit at the same time, that track is always there to support it. And a lot of musicians do that. And it's not uncommon to have vocal tracks in your music when you play live now and in your in-ears when you play live. So, and also like with K-pop artists, dude, they're like dancing like their ass off. So imagine trying to go do a cardio workout and then sing like Jongho of ATEEZ. Like, it's okay that he doesn't sing every single line ever, right? And I think he's an example of someone that does actually sing pretty much everything, but there are obviously examples of people that they need to breathe, and that's okay.
If we as the creators can't be a part of our own communities that we've created here, imagine how the idols feel. They can't interact with their own art, with their own fans, because stuff like this, you've seen the calls that they go on where people are just like being really weird with them. You see the people on the send-offs, how like
which, let's be honest, those calls shouldn't be a thing anymore. Like, those calls are just weird. Like, did you ever see the one where the person made Stray Kids Felix meow or asked him to meow? What? Huh? What are you doing? What are you doing? Just weird. Stop. Also, on the note of earlier saying that, like, my philosophy is kind of, if I don't really like something or vibe with something, I just don't post about it. I also don't think it's bad. I want to make it clear. I don't think it's bad if somebody does have valid critiques and they do want to say something that is maybe can be construed as a little more negative. Like, if they have a reason, like, I don't really necessarily like blatantly crapping on things. I don't ever think that's great. I just kind of feel like that's clickbaity, which whatever. But I think if someone does have a valid like critique of why they don't like something and they want to talk about it, yeah, whatever. I know, sadly, they are going to get a lot of hate, especially in this kind of in the K-pop universe, which is unfortunate. If you deal with just like too many really obsessive people, but you know, I think people should be allowed to have an opinion on art, and that's just what
appropriate they can be. And you see the artists, they're walking around and they just want to sign and get out of there because they don't want to have to deal with that sort of stuff. And some of them are better than others. They've got more patience. Maybe, you know, they're just built different and they can put up with that sort of stuff. But the ones that speak out, you know, like Jackson Wang, for example, actually speaks out about stuff. He gets seen as troublesome because he actually says it how it is. Seeing artists literally say in videos that they wish they could say more, but they can't because they know that they're going to upset people. It sounds like they're talking about children, right? And the reason why we can't be a part of our community is because you make a video to review, to criticize, to enjoy, right? And then your comments are either people just arguing with each other or just clear signs of mental health like this. I mean, how is any creator supposed to like respond to stuff like this? And this is constant. This is mental health right here. This
blocking this to Mario, I'll be a girlfriend to you, Jim, and I was praying for you to come over here. Please propose me and get okay. Okay. Obviously just normal stuff, right? Yeah, you know, yeah. And it's just what do you say? You know, you're on one side or the other here. It's like you're like, I don't see anything wrong with it. And then you're on the other side where you're like, girl, what? Are you all right? Like, who do we need to call? Who am I calling for you?
Person is going to be someone that has to contribute to society somehow. hopefully they're going to raise a family, but you know. Now, I can only speak from a reaction perspective, right? I make content around this, so in fact, I've probably had more interactions with K-pop fans than most K-pop fans themselves have, right? But I've noticed a couple of things. Since I started, I've always been honest, and I've caught heat at times for getting caught up in things where I've had an opinion on something, which I don't get. I actually feel it personally. People like myself don't get the credit for actually being honest and actually being what you should want from someone that you're going to for content, right? See, the problem with that is I think a lot of people that watch these types of videos, they go there just because they want a glaze session. They want a circle jerk. They don't want truth sometimes. And the reason that I know this is because there will literally be channels out there that for months and months and months will put K-pop hater reacts to BTS to whatever. It'll be for months, but yet they'll have a Patreon where they make over $10,000 a month. People just throwing money at them, despite them saying that they hate the thing that is making them that much money every single month. Clickbaiting your favorite groups. You know
what? He's not wrong about that. He's not wrong about that. I've never really understood that. Like, okay, let's just look at it from a silly perspective. Let's get silly with it. Okay, say you're a creator and you put K-pop hater for your very first video. You're listening to Stray Kids for the first time. K-pop hater listens to Stray Kids, and then maybe it changes your mind, but suddenly then aren't you technically not a K-pop hater, right? But then you listen to K-pop a year later, it's still K-pop hater, but you say you love the song. I've always found that weird. I know it's obviously just a clickbait tactic, and that's why, like, when I put videos, I'm either like bisexual reacts, singer reacts, idiot reacts, because I'm all those things, right? So I'm just going to keep it real. If it doesn't have the best click-through rate, whatever. Because guess what, guys? Clout doesn't make the world go round. Clout doesn't make you feel any better about life. So yeah, I agree. That is a pretty weird tactic. And I don't usually think you see the better channels like Bang Kim and Nigel, or Caitlyn, saying that stuff, because why? Because you want to kind of build up your communities, not only bait them by with hate, right? It's just weird. I think that's enough. If you obviously want to watch the rest of it, go to Alonzi's channel. I'll put the original video in my video description. I think just the thing is, right, whenever there is again, it's the voices that are hateful saying crazy stuff that sadly tend to be the loudest online. And what do you do about that, right? I don't personally have a pure great solution. I guess don't be one of those people. Don't interact with those people. Don't think they have any power, even though sadly sometimes they do. But I think the more you acknowledge it, the more power they have, because that boosts them in an algorithm that gets them more attention, which is what they're looking for. I think when a fandom stands up for idols having a healthier lifestyle, why can't we focus on that? Wouldn't that be sick? They don't need to be the skinniest they've ever been. They can eat, they can date. They don't have to take weird phone calls. They don't have to be bombarded at airports. Imagine a greater society for K-pop and K-pop fans. Will we ever see that? I don't know. I'm kind of one of the newer guys here. I've been into K-pop this last year mostly, and it genuinely has had such a great impact on my life. And I will make another video about that sometime, because I've been yapping so long. Alonzi makes great points. I wish I personally haven't had, I wish I hadn't have had those reactions with people he's talking about, because I have a lot. And it's just the nature of the beast, sadly. But you can change things, again, I think, by not doing that, not interacting with it. If it's on your video, I delete a lot of creepy comments, on this channel, on my second channel, because I just don't think it betters anything. I don't think it harvests a good community. Just if people come on my Discord or my Twitch streams or my Patreon, which are all linked in the video description, by the way, if they come over to any of those sites and say weird stuff, I ban them a lot of the time. And I am just not willing to have that in my communities. I want people that want to talk about music, want to talk about art, want to talk about life, movies, BL. I just don't understand why it's that hard. But, like I said, just help be the little changes. And I think the little changes add up to the big ones. I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments. I would genuinely love to hear your thoughts. Again, unless they're crazy and toxic, don't put that. And until next time, besties, baby girls, much more content coming this week, next week, and every week. So be sure to subscribe. I will see you later. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.